the humanitarian crisis in Tigray is more than Ukraine, without any exaggeration. And I said it many months ago, maybe the reason is the color of the skin of the people in Tigray. I haven't heard in the last few months, several months now, even a head of state talking about the Tigray condition anywhere, in the developed world especially. Why? I think we know.
Joining me now from Mauritius is Rafal Pankowski. He's a professor at the Institute of Sociology of Collegium Civitas in Warsaw and the co-founder of the Anti-Racist Never Again Association. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us here on the program today. Now, there's a serious double standard when it comes to the treatment of refugees, and unfortunately, it comes down to the color of their skin, as Ghebreyesus has pointed out.
Well, he comes from the Tigray region. He comes from East Africa, so obviously we can assume he has a lot of information on that particular crisis. And I think those words need to be taken seriously. And of course, there are ongoing conflicts, human rights abuses, human tragedies that don't receive the kind of attention, the kind of global attention that they deserve. We have the ongoing tragedy of the Rohingya in Myanmar. We have the war in Yemen. We have the ongoing tragedy in Syria, and it's a longer list, of course. But I would not simplify this issue. I would not reduce it to the skin color. I think that there are bigger problems at stake, such as global inequality, the way that the global media are structured, that also has an impact on the levels of attention that different conflicts receive. And also, I would very much I would be very cautious, and I would like to avoid any form of denigrating or minimizing the significance and the tragic aspects of the war against Ukraine, because it is a tragic situation.
It definitely is.
It also has very important global implications, also for Africa and for other continents, because of the food supply, but also because of many other implications that are very important to bear in mind.
Right,
too.
Professor, you mentioned the media, and the media was particularly it was particularly criticized for the way certain outlets described Ukrainian refugees compared to, say, Syrian refugees, compared to, say, the displaced people in Yemen, compared to refugees from Myanmar. Why do you think the media depicted Ukrainians a lot more different than how they described refugees from the Middle East, per se?
Well, first of all, I think we should welcome the way that societies in Europe and elsewhere have treated the Ukrainian refugees with a lot of sympathy and solidarity. I think that is very positive. And I think this is the standard that we should be holding up vis-a-vis the other conflicts and the other groups of the other types of refugees coming from other countries. So I think instead of denigrating or criticizing the way the Ukrainians were received, we should advocate for the other refugees to be treated similarly. And well, in the case of my own country, Poland, yes, I can confirm there has been there has been a difference in the treatment that refugees from the Middle East, especially received since 2015, and the kind of sympathy and solidarity that the Ukrainian refugees received in the last months. But I think this is exactly the point. We should advocate for the treatment of refugees to be equal.
Right.
Respect and dignity are universal, but we should improve the standards and not lower them.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope we see the same standards set for refugees from the Middle East and beyond. Professor Rafal Pankowski, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour.